You're listening to the Platte River Bard.
Hello, and welcome to the Platte River Bard. This is Chris Berger.
And I'm Sherry Berger.
And we are here actually at the Bellevue Little Theater. We are here with the director of their upcoming production, The Prom,
Yay!
Which starts September 15th and runs through October 1st. This is Todd Uhrmacher. He is taking time out of their, I'm sure, their rehearsal schedule. I'm sure he has to be doing something else right now.
You know what? I'm just happy to be here talking to you.
Thank you very much.
How's that for shameless plug?
That's
awesome.
I love it.
And also with one of the stars of the show, of The Prom, Riley Pope. Thank you very much for talking with us.
Yes, I'm so happy to be here.
I almost said your
Yay.
character name, which is Emma Nolan,
Yes.
who's basically the main character.
Yes, she is the central focus of the show. It begins.
I have not seen it.
Right.
I totally have not seen this show, so I'm dying.
To give a little insight into it, it begins with a group of Broadway actors who have just closed the opening night of their new show, and they find out that the reviewers really didn't like it, and they realize that they need to do something to get themselves some good PR. And through going on Twitter, they find out that there is a girl named Emma Nolan who lives in Edgewater, Indiana, who tried to bring her girlfriend to the prom, and they shut the prom down entirely.
Okay.
So they decide to get some good press to go and help her fix this problem, hopefully get the prom reinstated, have an inclusive prom happen within
Right.
this small little, red state town.
Okay.
And of course, it doesn't go exactly how they plan it. And the story moves on from there.
Okay. All right. Now, Todd,
Yes.
Yeah.
is this the first time directing this one? Because I know you
Well,
directed a ton of stuff.
I know, yes. and actually, whereas the availability and, the chance to produce this is actually fairly,
Yeah.
really recent. That's why
Okay.
we were able to jump on it.
Nice.
A lot of the distribution companies will actually announce that titles are soon going to be available, and they'll let you be on an email list. And then the minute it actually is available, they will say, okay, now you can apply for the rights. And the way that Bellevue got it was we literally got the email and immediately jumped on
Sent
the
it
application
back.
process, and we got it. So no, I have not directed this before because
Yeah.
it has not been even available for a year.
This
I
is
knew
the
it was
Nebraska
pretty new.
the Nebraska Premiere.
It is the
It
Nebraska
is.
Premiere.
So you're the first
Yeah.
person, the first theater in Nebraska doing this
Yes.
show.
Yeah.
It's a privilege.
Because we were wondering too, because I said 2018, that's really recent. So how did it get out circulated for the rest of us
Well,
so soon?
it was shut down kind of prematurely because the rights to the story and the script had been purchased by the producer in Hollywood by the name of Ryan Murphy. And he's done his big first one was Desperate Housewives, and he's done many, many things since.
Right.
But he purchased the rights and decided he was going to make a Netflix movie, and it's got a whole bunch of big stars in it. It's got James Corden, and it's got Nicole Kidman, and it's got
geez.
Meryl Streep.
Oh, wow.
And anyway, and Andrew Reynolds from Omaha here.
Yeah.
And so anyway, but he basically shut the show down so that they could go into production of the movie. So it was kind of prematurely shut down. It was
Okay.
pretty devastating for the cast and the production because they were playing to sell out crowds.
Yeah.
And he just said, nope, not anymore. And then they went ahead and made the movie, and it was on Netflix. So that's why it hasn't been available until recently because of the whole closing it down and making the movie. Yep, it's all.
Wow.
Yep,
Right.
yep.
What a cluster.
Yes.
And let me guess, you're also doing costumes?
No.
Okay.
I am not.
Oh, wow.
Now, I will tell you on this one, because of the magnitude of the story and of the impact, I did not want to take my focus away from making sure that we were as authentic and true to the story as we could be. And when you do more than just direct, it kind of pulls you a little too far, and I just
Right.
didn't feel I could do that. I needed to be really fair to this story and the script.
Yeah.
And it has shown the hard work and the.
Oh, bless your
No,
heart.
truthfully, there has been such a a kindness and a compassion that's gone through the whole production, from the creative team, from the cast members. Everyone just has their own personal relationship with this story, and when you come and see it, you'll really be able to see.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. That
Yeah.
you can,
Yes.
Is this one of those shows for you? Is this one of those shows that
Oh,
you
for
really
sure.
wanted to do?
Yeah, I mean, when it was announced,
Yeah.
my boyfriend, who is on the board here, when it was announced, he showed me, and my first reaction was, oh, I have to audition. And then for the next year, I was going, oh, no, I can't do it. Oh, maybe I'll try. Oh, I can't do it. So I got myself to the audition, and I got through it. And
then surprise,
it's just been,
she got the lead. So
it has
yeah.
just been beyond an honor and a blessing. This character is just she's so relatable. I mean, they wrote her to be such a true awkward teenager in the best sense of the word, and it's just been so fun. They've left so much up for the actors to interpret and take very personally, and
That's nice.
it's just
Yeah.
a beautiful story, and it's so easy to relate to for a lot of people.
And I think we talked about it before the podcast, but this is based on a true story.
It is based on a true story.
Yes.
This actually happened in Mississippi to a girl in 2010. So it actually is, a fairly recent story.
It is.
In the scheme of script writing and show writing and all of that, for
Right.
them to jump on this idea. And like we had said earlier when we were setting up, it didn't quite end the way that our show ends. Ours has a little bit happier of an ending than it was for that girl, but the actual storyline ended up in a court case that went all the way to the state Supreme Court, and she won a decision. But it wasn't a decision of she gets to go to the prom. It was a decision of here's your monetary compensation
Right.
for your pain
not
and
getting
suffering.
the
And hey, that
Yeah.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
be mad at that, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
but I like
But we
this
like our
ending.
happy ending.
Oh,
on
the
this.
ending
yes.
of this is
Oh,
just beautiful.
It's a musical,
Yeah.
so
Yes.
you
Exactly.
gotta tie it up instead of, and then they go to court.
Yeah, I think that would be, yeah. This isn't quite witness for the prosecution,
Yes.
or anything, but
The
yeah.
musical.
That's
yeah.
another. That would be another play. I
Yes.
think.
Yeah.
Boy, that'd be something. Inherit the Wind, the musical.
Yes.
Fantastic. So, as far as number of shows, how long have you been doing this?
So it would be 13 years ago this month that
Ooh.
I was in my first production, which was The Wizard of Oz at the Chanticleer Theater in about 2010. And I did it with a couple other people who are in this show too. That was kind of
Oh,
all of our
that's
little
cool.
first start,
Aw.
getting, I was maybe 8 years old, and I just fell in love. And I've been doing it ever since.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome. See, I've talked to a bunch of people who said their first show was Wizard of Oz.
It's just one of
I
those
don't-
shows that grabs
I know.
kids.
Not mine.
I know.
What was yours?
My very first one,
Yeah,
I was
what's
in
yours?
4th grade, and we did Babes in Toyland.
Ooh,
Oh my gosh, that is Adam's first show
that is
actually too.
fantastic.
Wow.
The first show was in high school. It was Annie. So it was another
Oh,
big
there you
one.
go.
Yeah.
Annie was
See,
fun.
mine was Wizard of Oz.
That's
yours
so
too?
interesting.
And I was Dorothy because I had red hair.
Oh, that's so
Dorothy.
sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in the Lollipop Guild, so that's a little
right.
different.
That
Yeah.
is awesome.
Yeah.
Now, specific sort of challenges with this, since this is something you have not approached before. Was there? What's different about this? Because it is a newer musical.
Right. I would say from just a staging standpoint, this is a very dance-heavy show.
Is it?
And you really have to have a spectacular choreographer that can interpret what's happening. And
Fortunately, we
Debbie
did.
Massey Schneeweiss, who is well known in the community,
Yes.
did just a bang-up job choreographing this show for us. And she and I have done numerous shows together, so we're really a good chemistry of directors. And so,
team.
it's
Yeah.
been
Yeah.
great. This is a very small theater, and it's a small stage. And so just the challenge of how are you going to stage this so that it accentuates the story and makes it all understandable and relatable to the audience. That's the huge challenge of directing this,
Yeah.
because it's a big musical, and it's a big musical,
Yeah.
and that's not so big of a stage.
Right.
So,
Right.
but anyway, we did it.
Big.
Yes.
Yes.
You made it
absolutely.
work.
Yes.
And I bet it's, I love your balloons here. I bet it's a very beautiful stage.
It
as
is.
well.
It's beautiful, and it's very, very, very high energy. We had our preview night last night, and of the people that I knew personally that were there, the same compliment that we got over and over was that is such a high energy show, and they kept the audience going, and we keep the pace of the show moving, because you just have to. You can't be mired down in the tragic part of the story. It becomes more of the joy of the story. So we really get it cranked up and going, and we keep the pace all the way to the end.
That's awesome. So how big is your cast? I know it's a little bit
30.
big. That's a lot, especially for that
Yes.
size of stage.
And I have to tell you, that's one of those proud moments as a director, because the final image that you see, we've pulled all 30 people on stage, and it's just delightful to see everybody there, and just standing there parking and
Yes.
barking, as they say.
Yes, that's what we've been
they
saying a
park
lot
and
here.
bark, man. We
Park
let them
and bark.
stand and just sing their hearts out. And it's
Yeah.
really
Awesome.
wonderful.
Well, and you elected to do something really unique with the stage. We had Joey Lorenzik built out this catwalk that comes forward and creates a space for the orchestra to be as well, because here we don't have a traditional orchestra pit.
Right.
And it creates some really beautiful imagery where there can be two scenes happening sort of at the same time, and then you use that
Yeah.
catwalk to build distance.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, neat.
Nice.
And not to get all lofty and artistic,
Oh,
but,
please.
but my intention when we chose to do that was, this show just has to connect to this audience. And I felt like, to put our actors in proximity and not have that separation from the edge of the stage to the front row of seats, this takes the actors straight out into the audience and allows them to feel more of a connection with what's happening.
a
And I
really
think
cool
that
experience.
opens them up to being receptive to the story and everything that's happening.
Absolutely.
That's gotta be pretty cool. Yeah. It's
It's awesome. I'm sitting here smiling. It's
yeah,
amazing.
it's
Yeah.
yeah.
I have a lot of opportunities in the show where I get really close with the audience, and it's just,
Well-
it's a cool feeling.
Yeah.
And it
It's a
was
total, like, rock
it's,
star
it's
moment.
kind of ironic too, because one of the first conversations that Riley and I had when we were using that was, I said, now you're singing the tearjerker song of the show, and you are literally going to be sitting a couple of feet away. And we talked about, you better be prepared,
Yes.
because you're going to know that the reason those people are sniffling and crying is because of you.
Yes.
And you've got to be emotionally ready to deal with
Yes.
that, because there isn't that separation. She literally could reach out and shake the hand of the person
Yeah.
in front of her.
Right.
And
It took a couple rehearsals
Yeah.
before I settled into that like non-anxious state.
yep, you
but
just have to
it's a beautiful feeling.
Yeah,
Like,
but you have to understand what's going to
Yeah.
happen. And
Yeah.
I said the
Yeah.
irony to it is,
Gotta
you
be
know,
right.
it's your fault.
and it will inevitably be my grandma.
Yeah.
Right? I know it's going to happen.
Oh, that's
So,
wonderful.
yeah.
Or your brother, because we talked to him just a few days ago.
Yes,
tell
that
ya.
sweet kid. He's great.
He
It's
is.
always nice if you can get a show and get moments in there where you can hear the audience.
Yeah.
And it's really nice in that way.
But especially if you're singing,
Congratulations.
you have to like stay in your zone, because then you'd have to work with your voice tightening up
Yeah.
and trying to,
And
trying to
there
sing
is
with
a
that.
moment where I
Yeah.
play ukulele on stage as well. So it's it's a lot of like keeping out of my head, just being
Right.
in the moment.
Yeah.
So
Ukuleles are like making a big comeback. I was in the music store the other day, and there was
Yeah.
ukuleles everywhere.
yeah,
Yes.
I don't know. I
Yes.
guess I'm cool again or
I
something. here.
guess they are cool again. I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow. I see all the people. Oh, I'm playing ukulele now. It's like, okay, well, it's in the prom too.
Yep.
Yeah.
You'll hear it.
I like it.
So tonight is your opening night. This
It is
the
our
night.
opening
We are
night,
talking
yes.
to you, yes, on September 15th,
But
and of
it-
course you run to October
So
1st.
it's a 3-weekend deal.
3-weekend run, Friday,
yeah.
Saturday evenings, and Sunday matinees.
Nice.
Awesome.
Very nice.
I hope you sell out.
I'm totally excited for you.
So do
guys.
we.
Yes. I really think anyone who sees the show, no matter what your background is or from all walks of life, you're really going to be able to appreciate this. And if you are a musical theater nerd, there will be a lot of moments where there's some kind of inside jokes if you understand how the Broadway world works, and there's moments for everyone, for sure.
Gotta see it. And this is the
fun.
Nebraska Premiere, first theater in Nebraska.
Congratulations, Bellevue Little Theater.
Thank
Yes,
you.
indeed.
Yay
Yes.
for us.
For doing the prom, and that is coming up tonight, which is September 15th, and it is running Friday, Saturdays, and Sundays on the matinee on Sundays through October 1st.
Yeah. Wow.
Great
It's going to
clips,
be
guys.
fun.
Thank you.
Enjoy your
Please
prom.
come.
Yes, for sure.
Awesome. Perfect.
Thank you for listening and supporting the arts in the Platte River area and beyond. Please subscribe to our podcast so you are sure to catch all of our future episodes and join us on social media. See you next time on the Platte River Bard.